I wanted to know if brook trout would bite on acorn weevil grubs. In my area, the first drop of red oak acorns precedes the end of the brook trout season. And so while I was out collecting acorns anyway, many of which happened to be infested, I ended up saving a bunch of the grubs, some of which I cook and show in a video, and some of which I took out fishing to a hole in a creek that turned out to be really good, but not necessarily for acorn weevil grubs, which you will see in the video that follows. So what I did is I just threaded a grub onto a small hook with a bit of split shot and cast it out into the middle of a pool where I knew that there were many trout biting. The acorn weevil grubs, they're very white and grubby in appearance. They have a sclerotized head, and so in that way they don't look terribly dissimilar from some caddis flies, from some horsefly larvae, which are from the family Tabanidae, or other benthic macroinvertebrates, which are really a favorite food of trout. And so I thought for sure I would get into some really good late season speckled trout, brook trout action fishing on these acorn weevil grubs. So I brought out my favorite little backcountry trout rod, which is a telescoping fiberglass fishing rod with a cork handle. It's very old, I think. I did find it at a garage sale for about $2. It's one of my favorite finds. And because the rod is fairly small, I actually used an ice fishing reel on it. Ice fishing reels are about maybe half the size of a regular spinning rod reel. So when I collapse this down, it actually fits really nicely in a over the shoulder kind of a side pouch, or in a small backpack, even in a large belt pouch. And so that's what I brought out with me to this spot. I went out with a friend and his son, and gave my best shot at catching trout on weevil grubs. I don't know if there's trout or not in this hole, but I'm just using a small hook, a little bit of acorn grub on there, and I did catch a couple of chub, but I'm very interested to catch some trout, so I'm going to keep trying a little bit more. Might cast out a couple worms and see if they're just more interested in worms, or maybe there are just no trout here. So my first cast with a worm, I got stripped, so it felt like it was something bigger than a chub. I'm going to upsize my hook a little bit. I'm going to take this split shut off and then see if I'm able to catch trout on the worms, but not on the acorn grubs. So that was 2 casts with a worm, and there's a beautiful brook trout. So in my short experiment, it looks like the brook trout are not interested to bite on the weevils, but the creek chubs are interested to bite on them. See if I can catch some more. There's my 5.
What's that?
Just talking to my camera. There's my 5 specks. All on worms, none on acorn grubs.